Guys, absolutely insane story. Guys, we've been following this. Zeynab came on Sabi Sab's show and accused Nick Brana, the chair of a movement for a People's Party, a third party, of assaulting her, right? And the R word specifically. She said he used to call her on the phone for long periods of time. And then the last straw happened, that assault happened. After they had broken up, he pushed her into doing it, or made her feel bad into doing it, even after she said no. And so this is scary. This is very scary for Nick Brana. If this is real, he's going to lose basically the whole party. The whole party is going to be destroyed. So we said that we don't want to make any more decisions. Although Nick Brana, it's very hard for us to defend him because of his beta actions, keeping her on the phone and stuff. If he didn't do that, she couldn't have said nothing. But we can't defend him. But the People's Party can. So they came up with all the information that they were hiding. This is the whole story now. We finally figured it out. It's a very long thread, guys. So we might do this in two parts. I might cover the People's Party reaction to the accusations, and then maybe Zeynab's reaction to the People's Party's evidence that this is not a real accusation. So this is a crazy story. Now, the only thing here that corroborates the People's Party and says this might be not an actual assault story, this is a infiltration attempt trying to destroy and dismantle this party, is that Zeynab actually used to work for brand new Congress and Justice Democrats. This is clear evidence. You know, the Justice Democrats are democratic operatives in that matter, and they use their influence and power to infiltrate progressive movements and suck the energy and money right out of them. So it's very possible that this was an infiltration attempt. She was just sent there to destroy the whole movement, because a sexual assault allegation at the chair of the movement is going to destroy the movement. So let's go through the story. I'm not going to make any accusations or any assumptions. I'm just going to give you guys the full facts, and then you can make your accusations, and you leave them down in the comment section below. So People's Party starts saying, breaking numerous newly released photos and screenshots prove that Zeynab and her best friend Paula Jean Swearingen falsified allegations of sexual assault against People's Party National Chair Nick Brana, a serious and defamatory crime, a thread. So for months, they has made shifting and escalating accusations of sexual harassment, sexual assault, and rape against Brana. This is true. The People's Party and Brana have consistently stated that an internal investigation exposed that these accusations are false and politically motivated. Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Then, what I saw from the accusations was that he would call me too long on the phone. That's the number one. And then number two was the actual last straw. I couldn't see anything else bad. He never touched her in a bad way, never pushed her, never called her names, never even hit her, never did nothing. She couldn't find anything bad to say about him, except that he kept her on the phone too long, and then he did that last straw. He tried to push himself onto her. During the investigation, and since they has never presented any messages, photos, videos, or evidence from her, hundreds of hours and thousands of messages, and several months of communication with Brana that substantiated her claims. So it looks like they were in a relationship for several months. So it wasn't just a real short-term relationship. At least it was like a medium length, right? From 6 months to a year, I think that's a medium length relationship. Anything smaller than 6 months is short. Maybe it was a short. I don't know. Okay. And then they add this thread debunking the perennial smear campaign against the People's Party and false allegations against Nick Brana. We take each claim apart with receipts, so you're armed with info. Share this everywhere you see misinformation attempts to tear us down. So it looks like they are actually taking this as a false allegation claim to destroy their own party. So, and they've put the fact here. Claim Nick Brana sexually harassed or assaulted Zeynab. The fact is, following a mutually consensual relationship that Zeynab had initiated, she accused Nick Brana of sexual harassment. The allegations were thoroughly investigated by a special committee of the board, which determined that they were unsubstantiated and politically motivated. During the investigation, dozens of inconsistencies emerged in her accounts, and she changed her story repeatedly. She and two other new contractors, her longtime friends, who had just left the Democratic Party, wanted to shift the party's message from economic populism towards liberal identity politics. I think there's Paula Jean's role in this play. They spent weeks fighting to stop a party from opposing COVID vaccine mandates. They tried to change the party's national charter to allow Democrats to control a supermajority of the seats on our state and national committee. Her accusations only came days after the board discovered that she had failed to follow through on a major month-long fundraising project. Haha! Interesting. So this, makes sense. This is all corroborating the infiltration story. She had made no complaints during the relationship, during the investigation, and since. She has never presented any messages, photos, videos, or evidence from her hundreds of hours, thousands of messages, and several months of communication with Brana that corroborates her claims. The investigation found no history of behavior from Brana that aligned with her claims. However, the investigation discovered that they had a history of making false accusations of sexual assault, harassment, and abuse, having done the same thing at her previous job. Okay, this is crazy. Also discovered that she had tried to get the party to hire 𝐒𝐲𝐏𝐿𝐷𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓 accuser, who had sought to sink his congressional challenge to Nancy Pelosi. Amazing. I'm not really sure about the 𝐒𝐲𝐏𝐿𝐷𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓 story, but yeah, interesting. So we continue here. In contrast, Brana did provide many screenshots and extensive documentation exposing that they had made false allegations and had political motives. Despite the false allegations against Brana and the party, we gave all parties involved every opportunity to voluntarily cease, desist, and move past this attack without further release of private communications and materials from the investigation. That was a mistake. So the People's Party here is saying we didn't acknowledge the story or make mention of the story at the beginning because we wanted everything to be handled privately, but that was a mistake, is what they're saying. Now we're gonna take control of everything. So following the People's Party's announcement that Jimmy Dore is considering running for president, they and Swearingen began defaming Brana and the media again, and it became clear that the party must expose their lies once and for all. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a really good reason to smear this party, because Movement for People's Party actually endorsed Jimmy Dore. So on July 12, 2022, Day and Swearingen gave interviews accusing Brana of sexually assaulting Day in New York City. So here's the story, guys. I didn't know this until I read this. And Ian Higgins, the piece of shit, CIA piece of shit, wrote this. So accusations of sexual assault and harassment against Nick Brana have thrown the future of the political group of the Movement for People's Party into doubt. During a live... When you see this as the first line, you can say, okay, this whole article is trying to make me lose hope of the People's Party, right? Throwing the future of this political movement into doubt? Wow. Like, go F yourself, bro. What the hell kind of story? I thought this was a sexual assault story, not destruction of the party story. During a live recording of the Flashpoint podcast Tuesday afternoon, former MPP member Paula Jean Swearingen claimed that she had witnessed Brana attempting to force himself on the group's former executive director. See, executive director, she's in a leadership position. Zeynab. The assault allegedly took place in New York last July. I walked into the room and I saw Nick Brana trying to push himself down on Zana, Swearingen said. They confirmed that version of events in a statement sent to Cheriton that he read on live stream. In the statement, they says that during the Brana became aggressive once Swearingen and a volunteer left the hotel they were all staying in. So this is her story. Nick started saying that he wanted to have sex and that it could be quick. I said no. He said it a couple of times again. I said no, we needed to leave. The Apollo and the volunteer were waiting and I was worried about the time. Nick grabbed my arm and started to push me into the bed. He was laughing, but I did not find this funny. It did scare me and I was struggling. I didn't know what was happening or what would happen next. If he was being playful or just aggressive. I was getting frustrated, saying no and struggling to get away so we could leave. Paula Jean opened the door at that moment. I was relieved. I swear this looks like a freaking theater. I swear to God, this sounds like a play. Like they were working with each other. Later, I told her I was relieved that she came to the room. Why wasn't anybody else that found Day? Why was it Paula Jean? Oh, it's crazy. I don't know what's happening. Honestly, this sounds like a play. This sounds like theater. I told her I didn't know I was if he was just trying to play or with me or being aggressive, but that I had said no several times and he still grabbed my wrist and pushed me into the bed and climbed on top of me. I felt it was clear that I wasn't playing around. I don't know. Girls now, they just can say no at any moment after they... I don't know. I'm not going to even say nothing to this. Anyways, Honestly, it sounds like theater. It sounds like absolute theater to me. Like, so now I'm just supposed to believe you because you said no? I mean, what if you were smiling and laughing with Nick Brana too, and then at the second the apology Gene walked in, you said no? Does that makes a difference in the story? Of course, it makes a difference. I don't know. It's just such. It's theater. I swear to God, guys, this is a play. I can't believe any. I can't believe this side of the story. To be honest, how Paula Jean walked in on them the perfect time. Sounds like I don't know. Why would Nick Brana try to sexually assault this woman if he knew Paula Jean is gonna walk on him any moment? I don't know. That's just weird. The following are screenshots of messages between Zeynab Day and Nick Brana, and the hours, days, weeks, and months that followed their communication show that they continued to speak and act enthusiastically with Brana even after the alleged sexual assault. A few weeks before Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, multiple witnesses saw her make intimate advances towards him. Brana turned down Day's advances at first, but she sought a relationship with him, and he later entered a mutual consensual relationship with her. A few weeks before Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, so they had just gotten to the relationship. Yikes! Here's a screenshot of the communication from July 2021. Weeks after the relationship began, and 1 week before she claims he sexually assaulted her. Notice how Day's messages with Brana do not change in subsequent conversations after the alleged sexual assault. Gonna sleep, love ya, get rest, call if you need. Love you too, Zana. Sleep well, baby. I'll see you tomorrow or on our big day. You too, sweet dreams. Thank you, babe. I appreciate it. We can talk long. We can't talk long, but you can call and tell me good night before you sleep for a minute or two. Would love to hear your voice. It sounds like he was really annoying, dude. He would not let her sleep. So she's honest about that. He would call her all the time. The conversation between Day and Brana took place on the Signal messaging app. Her messages are the gray ones, and his messages are the blue. Day's story changed repeatedly during the investigation as it progressed. She escalated her accusations from workplace issues to sexual harassment, then sexual assault and rape. Investigators were disturbed by the large discrepancy between her claims and evidence. Hours after Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, Dana Brain Swearigan explored Lower Manhattan and sat down for lunch on New York City waterfront. After that, they rented bikes and enjoyed a scenic ride through the city parks overlooking the Hudson. So I guess they're trying to say here that, hey, look, they were having a great day. Hours after Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, Day, Brana, and Swearigan strolled the New York City waterfront for more than 4 hours. Day and Swearigan stopped periodically to pose for selfies with Brooklyn Bridge, the Statue of Liberty, and other tourist attractions. Hours after Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, Day, Brana, and Swearigan wrap up their tour in New York City and drive back to DC together. Brana's father, Rod, offers them a place to stay for the night in Maryland before each of them drives the rest of the way home. Day, Brana, and Swearigan stay at Rod's house and head back to their respective homes the next day. Day and Swearigan write Rod a thank you card for having them over. They pick up a bottle of wine and pineapple plant as a gift for him. That's cute. 3 days after Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, once she gets back to her house in Kentucky, she sends Brana a string of affectionate messages and hearts. I'm gonna lie down for a few sweets. Is there anything I can help you with after my nap? Good morning, babe. I hope you slept well. Bro, he bothers her. He's the one that wakes her up. Morning, love. I did too. Deaf feel way better. Just saying, you're sexy. Hey, stop distracting me, babe. Bro, it sounds like an amazing relationship. It sounds like an amazing... And this happened after the assault. Weeks after Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, she continues writing him affectionately and developing their relationship. She also invites him to visit and stay with her at her house in Kentucky. You look handsome. Love you, babe. Hope you're doing okay. I did miss you today. Weeks after Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, she jokes about moving to DC to be with him, an idea that she just suggested and they had explored together. Okay, there's Harris Teeter up here. I can move now. Lol lol. It's essentially Kroger. I love you, babe. Love you too, bro. They had so much love for each other. It's actually insane. Months after Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, she writes him affectionately and suggestively, "You look very sexy. I want to cuddle you. So sexy. I can't wait. I can't think straight. It's not right." So this is after the assault. This is not before, guys. This is the problem. October 5th. They're saying the assault happened around July, right? Months after Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, she asks him how his day is going, and they talk about errands, family, and the holiday. So that's why her story is being destroyed, is because she picked an incident that happened in the middle of the relationship. She never left the relationship, and now she's gonna sit here and blame Nick Brana or her dumbass for not leaving the relationship or something. But she can't. She can't say that anymore because she's the one that stayed in the relationship. Months after Day claims that Brana sexually assaulted her, she sends him arts and crafts owls that she made. She also calls and messages him personally late at night, as they often did with each other. Our kick-ass owls. Aww. Bro, this is amazing. Months after they claimed he sexually assaulted her, Brana is getting together with a friend and they ask, she hot? Lol. They joke about Rod's dog Tulip, who they had met. So she's being jealous. And even after they had separated as a couple. So months after they've already separated. Day Swearjan Brana, Rod, and his partner Sue share Thanksgiving holiday wishes. Swearjan, oh, happy Thanksgiving, y'all. They awesome. So this is the pineapple that they gave to her. The day after Thanksgiving, Swearjan sends Brana, Rod, and Sue family photos of her grandson and her partner. On the same group thread, Sue sends back photos of Nick, Rod, and Tulip. I don't see any pictures here. More pictures, more. Upon interviews and examination of materials provided by Day and Brana, the investigation determined her accusations were unsubstantiated. The dramatic discrepancy between her claims and the evidence disturbed investigators. So did her shifting and escalating story. So here we're getting to the good part, guys. Instead of the evidence provided by Day and Brana, strongly substantiated Brana's account that Day's accusations were false and politically motivated. So Brana said that she's politically motivated. She's a liar. Day and her collaborators have tried everything to destroy this party and Brana, including going to the political police several months ago. Brana and his attorney shared these materials and more with them, after which they didn't contact him again. The accusations and attacks in the media and on social media have seriously slandered, libeled, and defamed the People's Party and National Chair Nick Brana. The party is in discussion with lawyers to assess damages and options for legal course. And then finally, I do want to show you guys Paula Jean Swearjan's take on this. And it's such a weird take. Such a weird take. Because if my friend had just been sexually assaulted, and then you're telling me he's a liar, or she's a liar, I'm not going to tell you, oh, you're immature, you're a little baby, you're a little kid. I'm be like, shut the hell up, you fucking... I'm actually going to be angry. Look what she says here. I wish I would have never heard of the People's Party. After being a 20-year seasoned activist organizer and two-time federal Democratic candidate, Democratic is the operative word here, I have to say I have never seen such immaturity come out of an organization. If y'all have noticed, I fully withdraw my support. LOL. So I tweeted, I was like, okay, Paula, now what? You going back to the Dems? And then somebody sent to me a response of her saying, this is understandable, but please don't go back to the Dems. And she said, I promise. That doesn't mean nothing. So she's going back to the Democratic Party, boys. She did the same exact post to leave the party and act like she's a People's Party candidate and a person. And then she calls it immature. She says it's immature. Bro, we just created... My best friend just got sexually assaulted. I'm going to call them immature. They're anything except immature, right? And then Professor Zinka is the guy that's been protecting this girl the whole time. And as someone who's worked with countless victims, I can tell you that the entire thread is just one rape apology tweet after another. Yes, victims of abuse sometimes say positive things and to and about their proper perpetrators. Using this against them is nothing short of disgusting. James comes back. You've lost all objectivity on this. In releasing the text, Nick did nothing more than present the accuser's own recorded words. Thus, you're actually claiming that the accuser's own words are maliciously attacking her reputation. So you feel the need to defend from her own words. This is amazing. And then the People's Party comes back. In this country, we presume that people are innocent until proven guilty by the evidence. But all you do is presume guilt. What is your evidence? He says, I have Professor Zinkins, by the way, you guys have to know he was the one that showed up with Sabi Sabs while she was interviewing Day. He's the one that was there. I've clearly stated as an expert in sexual violence and trauma. He's the expert in sexual violence and trauma. With decades of experience in the field, after multiple conversations with Zeynab Day, I have concluded that her allegations are credible. Okay. Okay, give us evidence. I've also stated that the response... So you're a sexual violence professor and expert on this field, multiple years and multiple conversations with this girl. You can't bring us one piece of evidence telling us why the hell she's credible, her accusations are credible. Instead, you're just defaming the accuser or the guy that's protecting himself. I've also stated that your response is pure victim bashing. Show us the evidence! One doesn't have to speak with a victim in person to conclude that they have been traumatized or to believe their allegations. What? I'm not gonna believe allegations out of nowhere, out of thin air. I promise you that. You better bring me evidence. I'm not gonna believe anything you say to me. I don't believe nothing you know when he says to me. You have to bring me evidence. Yeah. I don't care who the victim is. You bring me evidence. Where do you think you live? Zinkis thinks he can conclude a person is he can believe somebody's allegations from looking at them from far. He can look at them at the TV screen. He can see them on the TV screen. And he's like, oh, this one is actually, I believe them. What the hell, dude? Are you crazy? You just, if they have a nice, cute smile, you believe them or what? This is some bullshit, dude. Many assessments from rape crisis centers since the start of the pandemic were done over Zoom. That's fucking crazy to me, by the way. That they're doing these sexual assault assessments over Zoom. That's absolutely insane. And I promise you, you'll see a bigger discrepancy in who's getting about these assessments being right or wrong. You're gonna see a big difference over the pandemic. Trauma counselors aren't forensics investigators. That is not their purpose. I can tell you that what I heard in multiple hour-long conversation with Miss Day made it very clear that her story was real and that she was suffering from serious trauma due to the events she described. So what? So what? She can't bring any evidence. She wasn't raped. She can't bring evidence of rape. She was in a loving relationship with the person. So what? Leave them alone. It's none of your business. Yeah, trauma happens all the time. I'm traumatized right now reading this fucking tweet. I'm traumatized reading this tweet. Imagine some random guy comes to me with my girl. My girl says, oh, this guy, Manar, he assaulted me because he pushed me on the bed. And he was like, baby, come on, suck it. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And he's like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm going to go find another bitch. So I got really mad and I went and said that he sexually assaulted me. And then this guy's going to be like, oh my God, this girl, he was on top of her. And she was saying no. And he said, and then he left. No. I believe you 100%. We have to put this guy in jail. This is how this guy's acting. No story, no nothing. He doesn't know what's happened. He doesn't want to hear the other side. He just doesn't care about the other side. Oh no, he was on top of you? You were saying no? That's, oh my God. No, you've been sexually assaulted. No, the trauma. Anyways, guys, I have another part of the story. I want to show you guys the Zeynab Day reaction to this. I'm loving this story. Go ahead, guys, subscribe, follow, leave a comment with what you think. This is a fucking insane story, bro. They're trying to destroy and dismantle the movement for People's Party, and they themselves have been dismantled. It's being proven now that Zeynab Day cannot corroborate her sexual assault allegations. And we're supposed to just believe her because she said no while he was on top of her? Okay. I can be on top of my girl and she can tell me no and I'll get up and leave. that's fine. That doesn't mean I assaulted her. All right. Anyways, thinking about your opinions, leave them down below.